Did we start?
Oh my God. Switched it up a little bit. Hello, everybody.
This is how my soul felt on Saturday.
Welcome to the Cigar City Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, Mr. Nello. How are you, buddy?
It's a sad day in hell.
Wow. In hell.
Yeah, this is the first time I come to this podcast with no sports memorabilia on ever.
Clay, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. Good to be back.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thought you might have been in Bama last week watching Tennessee almost upset.
I was actually in the middle of Vol country.
What?
Surrounded by Tennessee Vols fans that are related to my wife.
I was about to say, you got family up there.
Was Philip Fulmer there?
I'm not arrested, so no.
Oh, boy. All right. Let's get into it. Ryan, how are you doing?
Wah, wah, wah.
No Ryan today. He's sick. He'll be back. Oh, boy, what a crazy week.
Yeah, no, he would be hyped on that Tennessee win. Let me tell you.
Actually, why would he care about Tennessee winning?
The Titans.
Oh, I thought you meant the Vols, because they didn't win.
Hey, I'll tell you what, they gave Bama a good game.
Yeah,
But hey,
they did.
I'm not a baseball guy at all, but congratulations to the Atlanta Braves for making the World Series.
Go Bravos.
Houston, you guys are dirty cheaters, and I don't care what you do. I hope you lose everything you ever try at.
The Braves have a very good chance, man. They got good bats. They got a good enough bullpen.
Let's do it.
Houston's going to win in 5.
I fully support them.
Yeah, me too.
I'd love to be able to go to one of the games, but my God, those tickets.
Are they ridiculous?
Upper deck, anywhere in there, cheapest I saw was like $900 and something.
Ouch. But they haven't been there since the late 90s or early 2000s, right? 99, 2000?
99, I believe,
right?
was the season.
So that's 20 years.
Yeah.
It might be worth it.
I was fortunate enough to go to one of the World Series games in 95.
Was it Chipper Jones on the team back then?
Well, Chipper Jones was on both of those teams, the 95 one and the 99.
I don't know much about baseball, but I do know Chipper Jones.
Yeah, Chipper was a generational player for them.
The late 90s teams, they lost to the Yankees and beat the Indians, right? They went to 2 back-to-back World Series, lost one, won one.
You're talking about, that's more, that's
right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, hey, talk about that UFC fight you were telling me about.
Oh, my gosh, let's do that. So there's weight classes in the UFC.
Yeah, sure.
So Paulo, Costa, Vittori was fighting on that UFC fight night last Saturday. The big pay-per-views this weekend. Last weekend was like their, showcase fights. So they first agreed to fight at 195.
Yeah.
And Vittori was like, all right, whatever, we'll fight. I think they were fighting 175, 185. I'm not 100% sure. And then Costa on Friday when they were going to make weight, he's like, yeah, I'm not making 195. You're going to have to fight me at a catch weight of 205 or we're not fighting. And Vittori's like, I don't give a shit what weight you are. And he went into the ring. It was like 2 big sons of bitches just hitting each other.
Son of bitch shit.
And these guys, Vittori just opened a can of whoop ass and never stopped.
Vittori is the Italian kid who just fought Adesanya and lost.
Right. But he said that Adesanya really didn't show him much. He just knew how to run backwards.
Hey, that's the fight game, man.
But yeah, so anyways, back to this fight. They were knocking each other out. Those were 2 big men fighting, and at some point there's got to be something. You can't show up to a fight 30, 40 pounds overweight and just be like, catch me outside. How about that? That's,
Yeah. That's really not the way you're supposed to do it. Good for Vittori, though, for taking the fight anyway and just getting in there. He is he's quite the athlete.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's still doing that double jab. His corner is just, I wish he would go to a different team, like American Top Team or some other team that actually knows something better than just this double jab and then to the body. He looked like he was fighting Adesanya again, except Costa's just worse.
The fight I saw this weekend was Shakur Stevenson taking on Jamel Herring. That was put up as just this phenomenal fight. These two different weight class champs. Shakur Stevenson has defended his title 4 times. Shakur Stevenson, Jamel Herring. Hell of a fighter, U.S. Marine. A lot of respect for him coming out there. But Shakur Stevenson, we're going to start seeing him in some more high-profile fights, I think. Even though this was a title fight, he was a lot faster. His jab was clean, and he's really known for being kind of a Mayweather fighter, as in a guy who kind of runs away from the opponents and just scores and actually boxes to beat them. This fight, he was out there to prove something. He stood in there and hung with the bigger guy in Herring. Herring just couldn't touch him. Everything that Shakur Stevens did was right. He's going to be a stud. I can't wait to see who he fights next and see if he comes in there with that same mentality. But enough about fighting. Enough about other stuff. Let's talk about some college football.
But there is a UFC pay-per-view this weekend.
Really? Who's
267?
Who's fighting?
The main event is Jan Blachowicz versus Glover Teixeira.
Teixeira?
Yeah. And then Peter Yan and I think Corey Sandhagen are fighting for that interim belt at bantamweight because Aljamain Sterling had to drop out again due to an injury. And Islam Makhachev is fighting Dan Hooker. That's going to be a great fight, too.
That's what I was saying. Makhachev's going to fight a Hooker, and we all want to see it.
But that next month's pay-per-view is where it's at, though. 268, Usman Kobe Covington, Rose versus Wayne Zhang Li, or Zhang Wei Li, or whatever it is.
Those are really good
Gaethje
fights.
Chandler. I'm excited.
That's a huge ticket.
It's a great ticket, actually.
Wow. Yeah, I'll need to watch that one.
And our buddy Billy Quarantillo from Tampa is on that card too. The main event pay-per-view.
Nice. I think Canelo's fighting Caleb Plant pretty soon too, isn't he? Or
November
is that next month?
9th?
Yeah, that's only a couple weeks away. That's gonna be a hell of a fight. Can't wait to watch that one.
Do you think Plant has a chance?
No, I don't. I think Canelo's the most sound boxer right now. I don't think Caleb's got anything he hadn't seen before. And he's going to go in there and be cautious because he knows Canelo's got the power, and that's going to take way too long. And by the time he figures Canelo out, Canelo's going to have him, knock him out.
Let me tell you about these really exciting fights coming up. One in December, one in February of 2022.
Okay.
Or 2021? No, 2022. So December, Jake Paul's fighting. Right?
Yeah, he's fighting Fury's little brother.
Fury's little brother, I thought that the last Triller fight was his first professional fight.
Yeah.
Right? And how did he look again? Do you remember that?
Terrible.
Okay.
He looked really bad. He was fighting somebody he was supposed to kill, and I just didn't see it. And then he's calling out Jake Paul, and I was like, oh, he's just using his last name to try to get something. And Jake, I despise him, but damn if he's not smart. Because he could stay away from Fury's little brother for, 4 rounds that he fights?
8 rounds, I think they do, or 6 or 8
I
or
mean,
whatever.
I don't know. I don't think his
Does it really matter?
brothers-
Tommy Fury couldn't beat that. He's not going to beat Jake Paul. But
Right.
Logan Paul's fighting Mike Tyson in February.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is. Look it up.
Yeah.
No way.
Look it
Saw
up.
it. Yeah,
Look
that's
it up.
legit.
It's legit.
I was gonna just say, what about old Logan Paul and Mike
That's
Tyson?
nuts. By the way,
Here's my question.
Fury said Wilder said he could go back in time and beat Tyson in his prime.
Well, actually, I think he'd have a better chance of knocking out Mike Tyson than he would of knocking out Tyson Fury.
No way.
Yes way.
Wait, you're saying I'm sorry. Let's go back. We're talking about Mike Tyson
Iron
in his
Mike.
prime
Yeah.
and Wilder in his prime.
Yeah.
The two of them fighting in their prime.
Sure.
The guy who hurt people on the inside the most, Mike Tyson,
Sure.
is Wilder with his wild shots and his dipping jab. No way.
Well, so here's the issue. I mean, Mike Tyson's got some great head movement and stuff like that, but his style was put his gloves up and walk forward. That's what Wilder deals in, and he's got crazy power. He's the only person that we've really legitimately been able to be like, yeah, kind of like Tyson. He could drop people like that. He's got that kind of power. So, yeah, he would have a much better chance of beating Mike Tyson than he would of Tyson Fury.
If Wilder thought his ribs hurt after fighting Fury, his ribs might be non-existent after fighting Tyson.
Not disagreeing with you, but in the slugfest, Wilder is the man you put your money on.
What?
I mean, he's got a lot of power, dude.
But he hasn't
not gonna
fought
lie,
anybody near the
I don't-
skill set of Tyson in his prime.
I mean, but it's that. What do we talk about?
Right.
If he gets that one shot,
and that's the thing, and that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going to beat Tyson or Mike Tyson that he would in his prime. I'm just saying he has a better opportunity of beating him than he would Tyson Fury, who was taller than him and backs up and plays the jab and actually knows how to box. He's got a better chance of out punching the puncher than he does beating the boxer in Tyson Fury.
I mean, okay, I just don't see how Mike Tyson with that power and just because Mike Tyson just go for your head. He made sure your arms went down by taking out your ribs.
You're not listening.
And your body.
You're not listening.
Right. Well, I'm talking about overall boxing. Like Mike Tyson is a power puncher, yeah, but he used the body way more than Wilder does.
You're not listening. I'm just saying
I'm not listening.
He's got a better chance against Mike Tyson than he did against Tyson Fury. I'm not doubting Tyson's tactics, his power, him being arguably the greatest of all time, him and Ali in the conversation. But if you're putting Wilder and his style of fighting against those two, Wilder has a better chance against Mike Tyson. But so my only question for the Logan Paul Tyson headgear?
I don't know about that. I think it's going to be one of those 8-round exhibitions, no judges. It's going to be one of those.
You can get knocked out in an exhibition.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing headgear because who the hell would watch that?
They did for him versus Roy Jones Jr.
I think that was because Roy Jones wanted to wear it.
Roy Jones really got a shit end of the deal on that one because they told him, hey, you'll have an exhibition in 3 months. And then COVID happens and Tyson gets to stop and train. And Roy Jones was like, fuck, I was ready for 3 months ready, Mike Tyson, not this animal.
Do you think Logan Paul stands a shot against Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Even at 60, whatever the hell.
Yeah. Just because of the age difference and the athleticism, that because Logan Paul is not a great boxer, but damn, he really does have a good physique. But no, Tyson will knock him out for free.
That'd be awesome.
I think it happens if they go anything like 8 rounds. Yeah, Tyson will kill him.
6 or 8 rounds probably.
Yeah, Tyson will kill him. Let's talk college football, huh? We actually there was some history set on Saturday. Did you guys know about this? Did you know that
really
college football history was set on Saturday?
Like right out of the gate, just like don't even rip the Band-Aid
there
off.
Was
just
a
fucking
game.
Pull that shit off.
Well, hold on. It's like a guessing game. They've got to guess. So there was a game that went 9 overtimes, and that's something that never happened in college football history. So, who was the away team for that one?
Do you want to say it?
Was it who was the?
I think you should say it.
Illinois.
Illinois was the away team. So they played
Penn State.
What? Yeah, I was about to say it was Penn State.
Yeah, yeah, in Boner Gully or whatever you guys call
Happy
your
Valley,
state. Oh, Happy Valley. Sorry. And you guys in 9 overtimes found a way to win.
If only that were true.
Oh, you lost.
Yes, we did.
Talk about a nail biter.
We lost to a team that only had 38 yards passing on a passing play in 9th overtime.
Wow.
At home against the team that has 2 wins.
How many times have you heard me complain about Bama football play calling and say just run the ball?
Yeah.
There you go.
Illinois did run the ball, and they had 2 runners that were over 100 yards to the point where one runner almost had 200 yards on his own, and the other guy had over 200 yards on his own.
That's crazy.
So
how did you, at that point, when you're that big of a program, do you not see, okay, they're just running the ball on us. Let's load the box and make them beat us through the air.
Yeah, you should be able to do man coverage.
Because if you guys threw 8 in the box, and yeah, you threw 8 in the box.
Is Zook still coach at Illinois?
No. No.
I didn't
It's
know.
somebody else.
Nobody cares about Illinois.
I just
want to upset Penn State at home.
Okay. I just want to say.
Hey, but we all picked Penn State to win.
We did. Yeah. Because, a sane human being who isn't, well, anybody, even if drunk or on other influences, would pick Penn State versus Illinois because it just makes sense, right?
That's right.
It just makes sense. Illinois 2 wins, rebuilding program.
Yeah.
But
Illinois, even if Illinois was the home team, there's no way I would have picked them.
So to add insult to injury, the starting quarterback for Illinois was injured during the 6th overtime, I think, and he didn't finish the overtime. So the backup scored the game-winning 2-point conversion at that point because I think they didn't even know it's never gone that long. So
Yeah.
no one knew what the rules were after like the fourth overtime. So I think it all became like 2-point conversions at that point.
Yeah.
And we couldn't stop them. They definitely stopped us.
Wow.
And James Franklin loses another game to an unranked opponent yet again.
It reminds me of the Lightning a couple of years ago when they had all those overtimes. And I just remember saying, if you're going to be in the longest game of all time, you better be damn sure you win.
Yeah, you do. At home, you need to win. Right? Talk about playoffs and this and that. Go.
Playoffs?
Hey,
Talking about playoffs?
If he needs
Playoffs?
If he needs help moving to USC or fucking LSU or wherever he wants to go, call me. I'll help him move for free. I'll move his boxes. I'll move his house, his dogs. I'll even pick up the dog turds and throw it at him on his way home
Oh, wow.
to his new home.
I like that you're this involved in his life.
Mediocre.
But you guys wanted Georgia, didn't you? You didn't even want Bama. You wanted Georgia.
The next time you talk about wanting Georgia or Bama, you might want to send an email to the AD about making sure y'all get there first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I deserve it. So go ahead. Let it go. But unbelievable. Ridiculous.
I feel so bad for you this week, and I almost don't want to pile on you too much.
It's okay.
You know?
It's okay. Speaking of which, when is this Cowgirls cheerleader outfit coming?
We need an update from Sir Ryan himself.
Because like a lot of people, a lot of family are like, we want the video. We want it put on YouTube.
A lot of family wants the video.
Family. So you can only imagine. If you guys thought it was bad on this mic, imagine in real life.
And you're going to have to give him the give me a D, right?
No.
Give me a D. Somebody's going to be out there like, I'll give you a D, buddy. Hey.
Jesus. I can't believe that was the first thing on college football we wanted to talk about was Penn State dropping the ball.
It's the only thing we really want to talk about. Bama took care of business.
Dude, when Bama got beat by A&M, we came right out of the gate with that. Upsets are what you want to hear first.
This thing's even more than that does, I bet. I bet that does not hurt compared to this shit.
No, not
it
near as
doesn't
bad.
hurt because we're number 3 in the country right now. So
yeah, if it was a game that gave us no chance of the playoffs, yeah, I mean it would hurt bad.
yeah.
But that's not the case with ours.
It's like losing to Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Ours, I'll tell you, it would hurt. I ain't jinxing anything, knocking on wood, but this doesn't jinx it. But if Auburn does what Auburn likes to do, more often than I'm comfortable with, and pulls an upset at the end of the year, that's the one that's going to sting us because that's it. We're done. And don't forget that happened. Man, COVID throws me off on the years. Let's see. Wasn't last year. Wasn't the year before.
It would be Bo Nix's last game in the Iron Bowl, wouldn't it?
Was it 18?
And it's in
Auburn?
Auburn, correct?
I have no idea.
I'll have to go back and look, but we play better in Auburn. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's just, they have a tendency to knock us off when we're up there, ready to go. It just is what it is.
So you said a lot of colorful things during the Bama-Tennessee game near the back end. I disagree with some of them, not all of them. Clay is kind of a doomsday fan when it comes to Alabama football. If we are not decimating you on all 3 facets of the game, Clay feels like Alabama should be playing in a subpar league.
Not decimating. Let's not exaggerate it because
No,
you got to give me a chance.
That's correct.
Not decimating.
Decimating is the right word.
When it is a team that we should get out to a comfortable lead and maintain, I get really nervous, and that makes me very upset. And so that, not decimating, I'm talking 2-score game, and that didn't happen there until
fourth quarter, for
right.
sure.
And I don't. Tennessee isn't there yet, but Tennessee showed that they can play.
Dude, that quarterback,
he can play.
I don't know what year their quarterback and that star wide receiver they have,
that
like
70-yard catch he had was something else.
Dude, I don't know
really
what
impressive.
year they are. I'm assuming they're younger. That they're going to be trouble. If they can build a couple other guys around that they need, they're going to be.
If they can
tough.
get Arch, if Arch goes to Rocky Top.
We've been talking about Tennessee football all year.
Yeah.
Negatively.
They've been playing
they're
better
coming up.
than they have in the last few years.
So Jice Heupel's turning it around is what you're saying.
Yeah, I truly believe that. Tennessee is definitely on an uptrend, just like Arkansas.
Yeah. I see a situation like, all right, so look at what we had with the 3 Mikes at Alabama and then Saban, right? I'm not saying this dude's going to ever amount to Saban as a coach, but Tennessee has gone through, since Kiffin, and really, basically since Kiffin, or no, Dooley was first. Anyway, their last 3 coaches, it's been the same scenario where you're just burning through these coaches. Nobody's really making a statement to stay long enough. They very could well be an Eastern Division powerhouse that everybody's looking at all of a sudden.
Now, the thing that we haven't had in college football is this transfer portal stuff. So now Tennessee's on the uptrend.
Yeah.
If they can pick up some kids that are playing at weaker schools that are really good studs, you're talking about a Tennessee coming back earlier than expected.
Yeah,
right?
Look at Arkansas. That's exactly what's happened to them. They've greatly benefited from that, and they've done well. I mean, clearly they're not the same team as, say, the Georgias of the world or the...
But, I mean, Georgia hasn't been much before this year. I mean, yes, okay, SEC champions, whatever, but I'm talking about real aspirations to win a national title.
Hold on. SEC champions and whatever should never be a sentence that you put together. It's the best division in college football, and Georgia has been to national titles and SEC championships. Yeah. What do you mean? Georgia has been here, bro.
But recently, Georgia has been the stepchild to Alabama and the SEC.
They have lost in some crucial moments.
Is what I said not true? It's true.
Okay. Georgia lost one of their biggest games because of some bitch caught the ball when he should have dropped it. But, I mean, they've come damn close. But
the last year, didn't you guys beat him bad?
Hold on. Yeah, everybody jokes Kirby Smart is Saban's son. I don't really think that's the case. We've had some comeback second half games. Don't forget, we took Jalen Hurts out and put Tua in to win in the second half.
As time expired.
Yes, in the national championship, and then the very next year in the SEC championship, we had to sit Tua and put Jalen in to come back in the second half and beat him.
Don't be surprised if Jalen doesn't get pulled for Minshew Mania.
I'm not going to say stepchild. I'm not going to say that. And don't forget, too, there's only been one of Saban's assistants to beat him, and that just happened.
Who was that again?
Happened this year.
I was praying to God you needed to get
I'm not going to say
handle,
stepchild, but I will say that we are seeing a team that Kirby has built over his time there. That he's very well steamroll us in Atlanta if we play him.
And an excellent recruiter as well. Is Kirby Smart for us and for Georgia. And don't be surprised if Georgia has a big ass game against us. They are circling us. They're not going to go and underestimate an Alabama team.
I'm just going to say I like Georgia this year over Bama if they play in the SEC. Just by what I've seen with Bama, like Ryan was saying a couple weeks ago, Bama just doesn't look like Bama.
I understand that, but our guys, Bryce Young specifically, is going to step up and play like he did. I mean, look at him week 1. Look at him in all of his stellar games where he was just on point. You're going to get that Bryce Young. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it's a given. I'm not going to sit here and say Bama winning's a given. I think it's going to be one hell of a game.
It's not an
instant classic.
And I would say that Georgia's a favorite, even to me.
Georgia's
definitely a favorite.
If they run the table, they'd have to.
Hey, unbiased, I'm a bookie.
Yeah.
I'm giving points. I'm having to give points. I'm laying points on Georgia. For sure. I mean, it just is what it is.
No, Georgia's laying points for you, right?
Or laying on points. Yeah, that's what I meant. But back to the Volunteers. With that quarterback and that wide receiver, you're talking about finding 2 more good like wide receiver and a running back, or running back, tight end.
How about a couple of big linemen?
Yeah, how about 2 tackles then, so he doesn't have any pressure? At that point, he's got enough time.
Their O-line isn't bad. I mean, you can't base it on the Bama game. Their O-line has looked very good this year.
You have to base it on a Bama game. If you want to win the SEC, you got to beat Bama.
Well, I mean, that's you got to beat Georgia too if you want to say that.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I just think that it would make his life a lot easier and give Georgia a lot more time to shine if they had people in the trenches. That can be said for any team in the NFL or NCAA.
But you're not also going to go to the transfer portal and grab a quality lineman
who's loving it where he is already.
I don't know if you got a big lineman from Utsa. And I give you an NIL deal at Georgia. I'm sorry, Utsa.
Well,
adios.
So
what I'm saying?
That's a very good point. The NIL may make that a thing.
Yeah,
that benefits big programs.
You got to think of these
dollars.
small pits, these SMUs, these
small
Utsas.
pits.
You know what I mean? Compared to Bama's, Pittsburgh is a small program.
Yeah, they just beat Clemson. Let's go.
That's
through our,
not
let's
saying
go through
much.
our picks.
Hold on. But what about Arch?
Arch is going to go to Ole Miss. He's already said it.
Well, I heard that I sent that article in the group about him going to Clemson if they could get rid of that O coordinator.
Listen, I don't believe that for 1 second. I don't believe that a senior in high school is going to dictate one of the biggest programs in the country firing somebody that they've had more time with on the hopes and prayers that the name Manning is going to show up at their school. I don't buy it for a second. First and foremost, Arch is going to go to the SEC. He's not going to go to the ACC. He's going to either go to Tennessee like Uncle Peyton, or he's going to go to Ole Miss and make Grandpa and his dad, his dad went to Tennessee, his grandpa and his uncle went to Ole Miss. That's where he'll go, especially with Lane Kiffin right now.
I don't know, but we're saying Rocky Top was rebuilding. What if they can get him there? Wouldn't that be an amazing? What was? I don't know much, but what was Tennessee pre Peyton Manning?
But you love me.
I love you.
Don't know much.
You would know, Bama boy.
What?
What was Tennessee pre Manning?
Like as far as relevance?
That was some dead air there.
As far as relevance?
I don't know.
Or like a good team, like an ongoing
relevance,
good program?
good teams, if they were mid-tier to up tier.
This is not me being biased. You got to go back to like the 70s when Johnny Majors was a coach.
So they were dead.
You got to go back a ways. They've probably had some flash in the pans between then. You got to remember I was born in 83, didn't start hating Tennessee till early 90s legitimately. But yeah, I would say you got to go back to the Johnny Majors days.
Okay.
Any questions on it? USC? Anybody going to take that job?
Not Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, that's right.
No, not Mike Tomlin. Let's get into our picks, and then we'll get into that.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, picks from last week. How did we do? I really specifically want to hear about my Appalachian State going against the Coastal Carolina. And how Appalachian State did. Did somebody predict that?
I think you did. And you were correct. Very much so. You know what game you weren't correct about?
A lot.
Let's just go up and down the rankings real fast. Cincinnati Navy was actually a better game than we thought, but Cincinnati still won.
Cincinnati turned it on.
Oklahoma, Kansas, we all thought that was going to be a walk. We were wrong. Kansas gave them a game for 3 quarters.
Kansas opened up their stadium and said, please just come watch the game. It's free.
We just need a little crowd noise.
It's free. Free real estate. Free. And then they showed up and lost, which was on that quarterback, man, that freshman we keep talking about.
Yo, man, they look good, though.
This is like the second or third comeback that Oklahoma's had.
No, more than 3. I think it's 4.
That they just should have never been down to begin with.
They've almost got a full Kardashian.
But
I'm not counting Texas because Texas should have beat them. I'm talking about
West Virginia. They came back on West Virginia.
I mean, West Virginia is not that bad of a team, man.
No, but I'm just saying. So it was West Virginia, Texas. Who they played last week that they came back on too?
Oklahoma?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, Kansas, but I think there's one more.
They almost lost to Tulane at home.
Exactly. They had to come back on them.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other one.
All right, what you got next?
Ohio State, Indiana, OSU came out, never stopped.
Yeah.
Michigan, Northwestern, we all took Michigan, but Northwestern still gave Michigan a game for 3 quarters.
What?
They did.
What was the final score?
But for the first half, it was pretty close.
You answer
It wasn't.
Answer that
it wasn't-
question for me
no,
real quick.
I don't think you got that confused.
33-7. I'll answer
Right,
it
but
for
the
you.
first half wasn't that bad.
Okay, keep going. What you
I
got?
don't know about that.
Oh, next one's Penn State. Who picked Penn State?
We all did.
Did they
Because
win?
we were all sane, and we were supposed to win, but they didn't.
Wah, wah. This is one I didn't get right.
None of us did. We all took Oklahoma State, and Iowa State pulled the upset.
Nice.
Michigan State was off.
Yeah.
But-
I got this one wrong.
But then you put your faith in Chip Kelly at home, and Oregon said, no.
Yep. They sure
Oregon
did.
won that one. Ole Miss, LSU. Ole Miss brought LSU back down from the heavens.
Yes, they did.
Notre Dame, USC wasn't that bad of a game either, but Notre Dame still won. Then
Yeah.
you got App State pulling the upset.
That's right.
Kentucky was off. Wake Forest, Army. I want to stop for a second and talk about this game. I don't think the defense has got the memo that they needed to play the game.
That's the most points combined for both schools. Like it just was ridiculous.
70-56 or 54.
No, 56. Yeah,
I'm like, what is going on here?
it was an insane little game that they put on over there. Wake Forest put up 70 though. So hey, man, they won.
I thought that they put up our NCAA 2008 game that we played all over Xbox Live. I was like, what happened?
All right.
A&M South Carolina. A&M won.
Yeah, here's one that we all got wrong. I'm pretty sure.
NC State Miami.
Yeah.
NC State across the board. That didn't happen, right?
Nope.
They lost by 1. Was it
Miami,
30-31?
Yeah.
30-31.
Auburn.
Miami trying to stay relevant, baby. The Canes.
I guess. More like skin of their teeth, and you wanted to fire the guy.
They do need to fire him.
Yeah.
Auburn was off. Baylor was off. SMU Tulane.
Yeah,
SMU did its thing.
that's right.
San
they
Diego
did work.
San Diego State Air Force. I'd have no idea how this game even ended.
Yeah, this one took me for a loop because I was like, man, I still have faith in Dabo Sweeney, and he proved me wrong. Pittsburgh, and I remember watching this and then watching Game Day and listening to Kirk Herbstreit, and he's like, I've been telling everybody about Pitt. Pitt's really good. They're going to win today, and he picked him, and I was like, oh, shit.
We all picked them, though. We all picked Pitt to win.
No, we all didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, nice. Happy we did that then.
We all did. But because that Pickett kid is supposed to be the truth. That's the quarterback.
Yeah.
The Roadrunners win.
Against the Louisiana Tech people from Louisiana.
And then another game that we all got wrong.
Big time.
Purdue, Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin came in there and handled their business.
Mertz decided to show up.
That's right. That's right. And we also all were on the Knolls to beat UMass, where we forged our transcripts. And they handled business 59-3. Do you think they finally have enough confidence to be a worthwhile program again?
No. I think they're far ways behind that.
Oh,
but,
my
you know,
God.
we're not going to talk about them beating UMass. And
No, we're not going to do
could UMass beat Jacksonville State at this point? That's the question.
Yeah. All right, let's take our first break of the day before we get into our picks for next week in college football. And we'll see you guys in just a minute.
Break.
And we're back.
Woo!
With some original music just to make you feel at ease. We could change it up at any time. I have so many buttons at my disposal. Woo! Picks for week number 8. Numero 8. I'm excited.
That's week
Biggest
9.
game of the week is up right now.
Yeah, it's actually week 9.
It's week 9.
college. He just put 8.
My apologies. Week 9.
I did that. That's on me.
This is the biggest game of the week. Starting off.
Too many ruffles. What can I tell you?
Starting off right at the top. We've got Georgia,
Oh,
Florida.
big game
Neutral site.
in Jacksonville, which, by the way, is considered the biggest cocktail party.
That's
the
awesome.
world's largest
That's
outdoor
awesome.
cocktail
That
party.
would be a fun game to go and
really would.
be at.
It would really be a fun game to go and watch and just people watch.
It's a fun game. Never been personally, but have heard from friends that have gone that the after party at whatever that place is where everybody goes after, where the
Applebee's?
party gets crazy, is not so much fun. It's a shit show, they said.
That sounds like fun.
I will say this, though. I went to the Bama-Florida State game. I believe it was 06. in a very, it was either 05 or 06, in a very boring game that was just field goals for the most part. But it was Bobby Bowden against Nick Saban. Florida State won. And I got to be honest with you, that's a pretty fun stadium to watch football in.
Well, I'm still interested in seeing Georgia versus Florida, and I'm going to say that I've got to go with the Dogs.
I would love to say no. What am I kidding? I'm booking Georgia to destroy Florida. What are we talking about?
All right, so when you say destroy,
Win double digits.
okay. All right. I am just for on my side of the fence.
Book it. Double digits.
Reluctantly taking Florida. I mean, taking Georgia.
Oh, wow. I was like,
what's going on here? What?
I am reluctantly taking Georgia because you are going to see the best Florida team that we've seen all season.
Yep.
Better than the team that almost beat Alabama.
I'm glad that they're going to bring their lunchbox. It's just not going to be good enough.
They are going to bring it, but they have also not seen anything like what Georgia's bringing to town. So,
and that's why I'm reluctantly picking Georgia. But I'll tell you, they typically this game is split down the middle in crowd because the
that's the way they sell them.
Well, yeah, but you don't have a lot of people on aftermarket selling these tickets to a bunch of Georgia fans or Florida fans could buy tickets and then sell them for a profit to the opposite team's fans. You don't really see that a lot in this game.
Yeah.
If Georgia was going to the Swamp, I would still take Georgia double digits.
I definitely
wouldn't matter.
Would not take Georgia. I would take Florida if they were in the Swamp. I would.
It's a tough game.
Wouldn't matter. I'm telling you, Georgia's defense is something else.
You have to remember, regardless of what's happened to Florida this season, if they beat Georgia, they just need Georgia to drop the ball and lose another game, and they go. No, they don't because they lost to LSU. I forgot about
If you
that.
look at what happened against LSU, there's just no way. Because if LSU's defense could look that good, what's Georgia going to do to them?
You are completely getting rid of Death Valley and the fact that LSU may not be like the powerhouse this year, but they're still a decent team.
No, I'm not saying that, but we're talking just defensively. Like Georgia's defense is stout. Best in the nation? Are we in agreement?
Georgia the best in the nation?
Defensively.
Yeah, for sure.
And who can't move the ball? Florida, right? Emory Jones is throwing to the wrong teams if he's throwing at all.
All the tricks in the bag are coming out for this one. Florida is going to try to
I don't think it'll matter.
absolutely try to salvage their season, try to beat the number one team on a neutral field. I mean, truly.
I don't think it'll matter.
I
just don't see it. I don't look at my colors.
Oh, you are wearing Georgia colors.
Of course. So I kind of lied about the sports memorabilia thing. Not really. It's just a red black shirt. But either way.
out his outfits.
Just saying. Just saying. There's no. I don't think
so good.
Florida's offense is going to be able to do anything that Georgia defense.
My aunt would tell you, bless your heart. All right, let's move on. Cincinnati versus Tulane.
Cincy.
Cincy.
All right, Oklahoma versus the coachless Texas Tech.
Yeah, they just fired their coach.
That's an interesting one. I don't see any draw to go there whatsoever.
I mean, if you were going to fire your coach, I guess now would be the time, since if all of Texas is moving in the SEC, your window of recruiting anybody in the state of Texas just got really small.
Yeah.
Or better.
And he's playing Oklahoma.
Yeah.
This week.
If that wasn't the case, I'd take Texas Tech.
I'm going with Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is due for an upset. They've cut it way too freaking close.
I don't know. This Caleb Williams kid.
They have played so many half games this season. It just happened to be the right half.
That kid that they replaced Ritter with is balling out.
Yeah, he is. Spencer Rattler, you mean?
Yeah. Sorry, Rattler. That kid who replaced him, I think is Williams is his last name. Bro, he can play quarterback. I'm not sure if he's like Heisman worthy, but like he can play ball.
All right. I mean, he's doing good. I agree with you. I don't think he's Heisman worthy, but he's getting the job done. But you can't do that all the time. You can't be considered a legitimate threat in college football and have to do that a lot. All right. So who do we got next?
Number 5, Ohio State at the Shoe. I got it right, James Franklin, at the Shoe versus number 20 Penn State.
Okay, so you guys are pretty stout at home. I mean, you guys have a pretty good record. It's not like you took an unranked to 9 overtimes and lost. So,
but it's away. It's in Ohio.
Oh, it's out.
So it was an easy pick for me to take Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State.
I have Ohio State written on this paper, but I'm going to change it. Actually, I don't. I'm taking Penn State.
All right. Hey, it's a good fan. You're good.
I'm taking Penn State.
But do you really think
Ohio State can't run the ball as good? And if I've learned anything from the Illinois game, Illinois, all they did was run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
You know, Ohio State.
I think we can play our secondary, and we can match up with Stroud. I don't think Ohio State can run the ball. I think we have a shot.
I don't think you guys have a shot at all on defense.
You got to hope we see the Ohio State that we saw early in the year that
against Oregon.
But
yeah,
they're not that team anymore.
You're going to need an Ohio State that's going to sleep on you, and they're not.
I just think our secondary can play with those receivers. If we can make them one-dimensional.
Ohio State,
if they run the ball, it's over.
Has the most to lose. If they lose this game, they have no shot at the playoffs. If they win this game, they're very much still on the cusp, sitting at 5, and all they need is for a Cincinnati to lose or something like that.
And you guys don't have 3 elite corners back there, and Ohio State does have 3 elite wide receivers. So you're going to be in trouble. Penn State's not going to be able to take this one well. But I'm interested in this one. There's a lot to talk about the next game here. And I know, because we've talked about it before we hit record, who you're thinking about taking.
Yeah, baby Bama.
But we've got Michigan State. Now, I want to bring back what Clay just said about Ohio State and this being the biggest game of the year for them, or them taking it very seriously. If Harbaugh loses this game, that could be a cascade of failures for Michigan. They have really not gotten what they've wanted out of Harbaugh.
No,
they
not
have
for the price
not
tag.
gotten the clout and the recruits and the program that they thought they were promised when they signed this guy.
As a matter of fact, he's whined about how hard it is to recruit with these unfair rules that are not unfair.
Well, because they apply to everybody, they're not unfair.
Exactly.
Just figure it out.
Yeah.
But so there's 2 things that are expected of a Michigan coach. Expected. Beating Michigan State and beating Ohio State.
Yep.
That's it. If you don't do those 2 things, you are not a coach for the Wolverines. That's just period.
If he loses to Michigan State, okay. That makes Ohio State the biggest game he's ever coached in his career so far. Because if he loses to Ohio State for a 6th time in a row or something like that, it's over. He's getting fired after that game.
I disagree.
He has never beaten Ohio State.
I think things could go very poorly for him in this game. If he is trying to do gimmick stuff against Michigan State, they're going to take him to the cleaners. This is in Michigan State. This is a very, very tough game for him. What I've seen out of Michigan is their ability to run the ball is what keeps them relevant and keeps them going. I think this is their first big test, and I think they fail.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Michigan State's going to run the ball up and down Michigan.
I think Sparty has been tested, and they have had some good games, and it's not a game they need to get hyped up for. They're already there. They wake up for Michigan State, Michigan, and Sparty is ready to kill them. So I'm going to go with Michigan State. I really don't care who wins because either one of them, if they got to the playoffs, is an easy win. But
what do you got?
Michigan State. I think they're going to run the ball.
Well, that makes all 3 of us because I think that Michigan State's going to win this one as well.
We were talking during the break. That coach for Michigan State has a turnaround.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Less than a year.
Yeah.
His first year coaching, and you're already talking a top.
Yeah. I still think Michigan State has what it takes to win. Tough game. And I got to say, if this game was in the big house, I'd be going with Michigan. But this game is at Michigan State. I'm going with them. Who'd you pick, Clay?
Michigan State.
No, we went consensus on that. Number
Okay.
7, Oregon versus Colorado in Oregon. I got Oregon. I don't.
Didn't Oregon's QB go down in that game?
No. Did he? I thought it was a corner.
Was it a corner? I thought for sure their backup quarterback had to come in and finish out that game. Either way, Oregon, they're not making it easy for me to pick them. Come back to me. Let's go to Clay.
It's in Oregon, though.
I'm going Oregon because it's in Oregon. That's why. I feel it's gonna definitely be a close game unless we see something out of Oregon that we have yet to see this season.
Yeah.
I don't think Colorado has much of a shot.
Colorado's one of those teams, man.
Yeah, right.
I like to talk about those App States, those North Carolina states, those Iowas before Iowa actually had a.
But most of the time,
rotation.
it's in Colorado.
If it's in Oregon, then yeah, I'll go with them.
Ooh, an interesting one. Number 9, Iowa.
Hold on.
I got Oregon. Sorry. Number 9, Iowa.
I mean, I got
In
Iowa.
Madison.
I got Iowa all day. They don't care about that sandstorm.
Are we going to, what Wisconsin are we going to get? That's the question.
It don't matter.
That is a question, and it's in Wisconsin.
To me, it doesn't matter. Iowa is going to play great Iowa ball the rest of this season.
You think that one loss is what's going to strike that rubber band and send them straight forward? I'm having a hard time picking them, and I have been on the Iowa train all year.
But it's Wisconsin, man.
That's the thing, is Wisconsin. And with them having come out last week, is Mo hanging out with Wisconsin right now? Because in college football, man, if Mo's hanging out, it could be trouble.
Yeah, but you're talking about a Wisconsin that has fallen so far from grace in a short year and a half.
They did beat Purdue last week.
And even,
really good.
And even when Wisconsin was good, they always had an issue of being a second half team. They were always playing down coming in the second half and would turn it around, but now they don't have that anymore, that ability, I think. I think Iowa's defense is going to do the job, and I think Iowa's offense, this is the best Iowa offense I've seen in a long time, since I've been paying attention to them the last 5 or 6 years. I think they're going to come out, and I'm gonna call that double digit that you did for the Georgia game.
With Iowa by double digits?
Yeah.
I think Iowa wins just because Kurt Ferentz is better coach, but I'll take double digits.
Iowa as well. I'll take Iowa.
So you taking Iowa or Wisconsin, Nello?
Iowa. I just trust Kurt Ferentz over the coaching staff of Wisconsin.
Right.
But I don't think it's double digits.
Okay.
Nah.
Right.
I mean, unless that secondary for Iowa is really good. So if Mertz or whatever the hell his name is for Wisconsin has one of his bad games, it could be a long day. I mean, they have one of the best safeties in the country.
If Iowa just does what Iowa does, that has been doing this season, I should say, barring the one upset, I just don't see them having a problem with Wisconsin this year. Maybe 2 years ago.
I just don't see double digits.
Right.
I see Iowa winning. I just don't see the double digits.
All right, well, who's next? Ole
Miss, Auburn in Auburn.
Yeah.
In Lane, I do not trust. Give me Auburn. Bo Nix.
Wow. The wow there is because I was thinking the same thing. I think Auburn is a better team all around. But Auburn does not have the defense to hang with Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. But going down there at Old Jordan-Hare is a hard place to play, especially ranked. War Eagle, baby.
Wait, what?
Listen.
Can he just? I didn't hear that because I'm shocked. I need to hear that again.
Listen, let me give you a little history here. Can I give you a little history?
Wait, can you just say it one more time though?
You're gonna get it. My mother, my grandfather, 3 of my aunts all attended and graduated from Auburn. War Eagle, baby. I have no issue saying that. Georgia, however, I'm not a fan. I'll pay you respect, but what people think Alabama fans should hate Auburn fans, that's how I feel about Georgia. I do not like them, Sam I am. I don't like them one bit. But when it comes to people from Auburn and Auburn fans and saying War Eagle, I don't give a goddamn. They're family as far as I'm concerned. There's a joke there, and I'll let you run with it.
I got a tingle on my spine when he said War Eagle for the first time. It was like somebody had knocked me out.
Tell me it's different for you, Clay.
It's not, man. My mom went there. I mean, I got a lot of respect, man.
Are you going to say War Eagle too?
I mean, I'm not going to say that because I'm picking Ole Miss.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, listen, he is not wrong about Jordan-Hare and that atmosphere, but Ole Miss can just put up points.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
This is a tough game.
Yeah.
And it really, I think Ole Miss is the favorite, and I think Auburn has enough tools, and with that crowd, they can make it happen.
I like Auburn. They're not like they're gonna not blow you off your socks, but they're a team that's always in there, always pesky.
For sure.
Auburn. At home, yeah.
Notre Dame versus North Carolina in Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame. That's an easy one.
Kentucky at Mississippi State.
This, however, is not as easy a pick.
What?
It was for me. I
Easy.
picked Kentucky pretty
Kentucky.
easily. Even though it's in Starkville, I got to take Kentucky. They're a solid squad this year.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with
man.
Clay. Very solid.
You go on that Mississippi State?
That's the tough part, man.
And Bulldogs?
Is watching this Kentucky team. You know what I mean? It's like watching a child try to walk. You're just like, I don't know if they're serious, or somebody's walking on the ice. You're like, are they going to fall? Are they going to fall through? I just don't know. You know, I'll pick with Mo, man. Kentucky. I don't have enough, but Mississippi State is not going to be slept on.
I just don't see Mississippi State being able to really put enough points up. The Kentucky defense ain't bad, man.
All right.
Not bad at all.
How about Wake and Duke?
I
The
got
defense is going to
Forest
show
easy.
up.
Yeah.
I'll take Wake Forest.
Here's the thing, man. Is this going to be a 70-71 game or
Right?
something? I mean,
Oh, man, if they let Duke put up points like that 2 weeks in a row, come on.
they got to drop if they do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take Wake. A&M's off, and then we got Oklahoma State coming to. Well, Kansas is coming to them.
It's a big game, though. Kansas will play them hard, but I'm taking OK State.
I feel like Oklahoma State is just that one team's like, oh, you're doing good, and then like Mike Gundy just pulls a bad game out of nowhere, and they just disappoint you every time, but not against Kansas.
I think Kansas is on an emotional bender right now. They're not ready to play. They're not going to be able to go in there and take care of business. And Oklahoma State just saw what they did to Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's better than Oklahoma State, so they're going to take them very seriously.
Number 16, Baylor versus Texas. This is actually a very interesting game.
It's a very interesting game, and I have learned my lesson from both of these programs in a big way. Texas, I have been on the Texas train. I want to see them get better. I want to see them have a better program and return to glory. But they have let me down time and time again. I've picked Baylor, and they have taken good care of me all year. And the one time I picked against them, they took care of me then too, and they beat me. Give me Baylor at home against the Longhorns.
Yeah, I think Baylor's going to run on them all day, which would cut their time of possession off. So I'll take Baylor.
I'm taking Texas.
Hey, man.
I still got Sark hope.
Now, here's the thing. For your comment about your coach and people letting people go and shit like that and being on the hot seat, the Florida boys talking about getting rid of Dan Mullen already.
Which I don't agree with on that one.
I don't. Just
Especially talking about bringing Ed Orgeron over.
Oh, my gosh.
Welcome to the game, man. I lost a lot in one swamp. I can lose a lot in another one.
Wow.
I mean, no. Dan Mullen, give that man some more time. Let him get some more. Somebody said to me the other day, oh, well, his players are starting to take the field. And there's a couple different things to that. He's recruited Emory Jones, who's really not doing the thing. But This wasn't meant to be a Florida tangent. Stop giving up on your coaches. And when you say that, I'm talking about Sark. Give that guy a couple years, and we're going to have problems out of Texas.
However,
I agree.
if Texas declines to do so, I would very much be happy to see us bring him back into the Bama fold.
Why would he go back to Bama? He would get another head coaching job.
Most of the head coaching jobs in the country don't pay as much as an Alabama offensive coordinator makes. So
Are
there's
you
that.
already giving up on the Dabo train? Are you already giving up on Dabo Swinney?
I'm talking about Sark coming back as our OC.
Which would then mean he's the predecessor to Saban.
No.
The only way I'm taking that if I'm Sark, I'm like, okay, I'll do this. When you're done, This program is mine.
100% agree. 100% agree.
I ain't going back unless I got guarantees that I'm getting the head coach job.
That's not even a lateral move. I mean, it is kind of a lateral move, but it's Texas, so it's a demotion to come back and be an offensive coordinator. No matter who the head coach is, I don't disagree with that. If he's Sark, he would only come back to be the heir apparent and be the head coach.
Then you are giving up on the Dabo Swinney dream.
No.
It's not a dream. That's going to happen.
You pay the guy the right amount of money, and he'll come back regardless.
Oh, that's true.
Yes. The whole Dabo thing, I would love it, but at the same time, coaches like to go back where they played. I get that. Dabo, his favorite job, he said before being at Clemson, was being an assistant in Alabama, and he got fired because the coach got fired, and it's always stung him. So if they offered him the job, yes, he would take it. We'd be a done deal. But I don't like Sark as a head coach. I don't think anybody in the Alabama program does. Yeah. But what's growing on me this season, I wouldn't be upset if Lane Kiffin was our head coach.
Fuck
I said it.
Oh, my God.
I said it.
That's it. Everybody, the podcast
Where's
over.
The boo?
End this.
Where's
End
the
this.
boo? There we go. Give me that. No way.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Love it, dude.
Shut your mouth.
Love it.
This is disgusting. I feel dirty.
He broke
you
records
said that.
as our offensive coordinator, and the guy, look at what he's done at Ole Miss, man.
I feel like I need to go shower right now.
God, I agree with Jack.
I said it. It's
Do you
out
have
there.
any bleach?
Roast,
I might need some bleach with my shower.
Roast me hard.
Let's get through these picks, baby.
Pitt versus Miami.
I got Pitt.
Yeah, easy. Pitt's shown that they can just decimate.
This won't be as easy because I took Pitt too, but Miami could give them a game. If they gave NC State a game, they'll give them a game.
No. I got SMU against Houston.
Same.
I got SMU too.
Hey, do you think Penn State could win even though they're playing nobody this week? You think they'll take nobody to overtime?
I don't know why he lists them here when they're already listed.
Well, because
up
it's
ahead.
easier to do 1 through 20. The rankings.
All right,
geez,
San Diego
Louise.
State. We're all on San Diego.
First of all, we are not all on San Diego
you
State.
are not
I'll take
taking
Fresno. I'll take
Are
Fresno.
you?
I will, yeah. Give me Fresno State.
Okay.
Wow. All right.
All yours,
That's
buddy.
one you're losing.
This is a tough one, though.
This
This is a really tough game.
I had to go and look at the stats for both teams for the season to pick this because you would think Iowa State all day, right?
No.
But it's West Virginia.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking give me the Mountaineers. I'm going to go with West Virginia.
I'll take the Cyclones.
That's a hell of a pick. This is one way or the other, but
I took Iowa State because when I did look at those stats, on average, Iowa State's more offense, less defense.
Sure.
When I say less defense, I mean less yards allowed, less points allowed. So I got to go.
Iowa State's defense is pretty good.
yeah, I'm taking West Virginia at home.
The Roadrunners are off this week,
This
guys.
is off, but not Coastal Carolina.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey,
The 1 week I don't take App State.
Not
man. What
Coastal Carolina, baby, who dropped from 14th to 24.
I'm definitely taking them this week.
Me
we
too.
should. I want to see a picture of the teal field. Okay, I just want to see what it looks like.
Hey, Troy has upset some big programs.
They have.
I'm not putting that past anything.
I'm taking Coastal Carolina.
But yeah.
though. Which is weird because if it was Troy versus App State, I'd be kind of, I'll
That's
take
App State
Coastal.
all day.
I'll take Coastal.
App State against anybody in their conference, they usually destroy.
Yeah, they're a great
Wasn't a
team.
destroy, but it was a good game.
They usually beat them up.
Last one before we get into pros and fantasy football: BYU versus Virginia.
Provo.
Who's everybody got? You got the Cougs?
Yeah. Although every time I do this, they lose.
I'm on that Mormon train.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to go with that. All right, let's take another quick break, and then we will be right back into fantasy football and then our pro recap and our picks. So we will see you shortly. And hopefully by now you're telling everybody that you know about the Cigar City Sports Podcast and letting them know that we are everywhere you can find podcasts. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on YouTube, we're on all that. So please do us a solid and share this with your friends. Let them know that I'm really, really good. Nello's decent. He books a lot of bad stuff. Clay checks his emails and every once in a while looks up and goes, hell yeah, roll tide.
Although
And
he did
Ryan-
say Lane Kiffin this week. So
Dude,
Ryan
just
is
saying.
normally here to tell us to tighten up, but not this week. All right, we take a quick break. We'll be right back. And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are talking some fantasy football.
And what a week.
I survived my bye week hell.
Me too.
I drafted
I didn't.
very smartly and did not pick anybody to have the same bye week except my two stud running backs, Najee Harris and Ezekiel Elliott. But I was able to come through with the most points for the week and beating the person with the second most points for the week. Brian, now you know how it feels, and it'll show you better than to start Devontae Smith against me. I decimated you, my friend. Love ya. Better luck next time. However, I got to say, guys, I worked the wire real well. We were talking about this game last Tuesday, and I said, whoever's going to go after Dearness Johnson, that's going to be everybody in the league. Nobody went after him. I forgot to set my claim for him. And I went there on Wednesday, and he was free as a bird. I threw him in. He put up 24 points, but that's not why I won. The reason I won...
Well, actually, I mean, that's a big reason why you won.
Is because I had Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp, and Jamar Chase. Say no more, my friends.
Yeah, but plus 24 by a no-name third running back against a good defense. That was actually a big pickup.
I was worried Jameis Winston was going to lose me 21 points because,
you never know.
Suck a fat dick, Chucho.
But for the record, I too was also surprised that nobody put the waiver claim for him because that's why I didn't. That's why I was like, I'm going to go after somebody else.
Yeah. So I got lucky. Maybe I was the only guy to claim him. But let's talk about a couple things from this week, pro football. What games did y'all get a chance to watch?
I only watched one game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Was that Eagles-Raiders?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, wow.
I would like a play call. I would like a play call that isn't an RPO and maybe in a defense that knows what it's doing.
So the good thing about the RPO when you're running that or you're running an option offense is literally your entire playbook could start the same way, right? Every single play starts the same, so that makes it really hard for the defense to try to predict what you're doing. However, in the pros, it's a little bit different because they know where your skill's at. And they know they're not going to take a risk on somebody not named Devontae Smith or Jalen Hurts or Miles Sanders, who didn't play last week.
He hurt himself. He high ankle sprain or something like that. He'll be out next week for sure.
Yeah.
Gainwell would be a very interesting pick. Also, Boston Scott, if you're looking for a running back.
So, other than that, how'd you boys do? Did you win?
I won. But
I won by 2 points.
I'm pretty sure I won because the dude, the guy who was playing Pete, literally his whole team was on bye. So I'm pretty sure.
I lost by 2 with Eckler on a bye. Definitely missed Eckler.
Yeah, let's also talk about the fact we watched this Tampa Bay game that was here.
That was practice.
That was a hell of a game. The defense for Tampa Bay came out swinging. My brother walked in to watch that game. He's like, Bucks are going to get 3 picks today. I was like, the fuck they are. There's no way. I was like, we're good, but our secondary's banged up. 3 picks, 3 sack fumbles. That defensive line, specifically Vita Vea, is just a problem. Shaq Barrett was eating off of that. Pierre Paul was doing well off of that. Sue and Vita Vea sitting in the middle of our defensive line is going to be a challenge for anybody that wants to play the Buccaneers this year. And I also want to say, we were banging on every single level. Special teams, offense, defense. The only snub up on the special teams was Suck Up missing the kick. However, Darden came out and returned the ball in place of AB. He had a 40-yard return. I think we almost blocked a kick, but I don't think we did.
I mean, the Bears are – I didn't know the Bears were – but both Bears starting tackles were out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. They really didn't have a chance. Justin Fields was running around literally like a chicken with his head cut off.
This Bucs team, the last few weeks, you've seen it. They are coming into their prime.
It's lesser talent, though. I don't want to judge anything yet. It's lesser talent. I mean, we're talking about the Eagles.
You
and the
think
Bears.
the teams that they're playing? Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. I think,
especially without the tackles.
So here's something that somebody said in the group, and it's absolutely true. Like, oh, well, the Bears were missing a lot of key players. The Bucs were missing, first and foremost, Levante David. We're missing Levante David on our defense. That's almost impossible to replace.
Your secondary?
Carlton Davis.
Yeah.
Sean Murphy-Bunting. We were lucky to get Antoine Winfield back, but we're also missing Gronk.
And AB.
And Antonio Brown. So people say, oh, the Bears were missing people. So were the Bucs. Luckily, Ryan Jensen isn't nursing that hip injury too much because our offensive line has, knock on wood, stayed stellar. But Kevin Minter coming in off special teams as a captain to fill in for Levante David has been a beast.
Agreed.
Everything happened this week. Evans went off for 3 touchdowns. Godwin caught a touchdown. Leonard Fournette got himself a touchdown. And I didn't know this. Did you guys know that Mike Evans gives away every single touchdown catch he's ever made?
Man, that's a great transition.
He also has, like at the Super Bowl, he's mic'd up saying, I don't want anything. I want to give the fans everything. He threw his helmet into the stands, took his jersey off, threw that into the stands, cleats, gloves. He gives it all back, including the only ball in NFL history that could be labeled as the 600th touchdown.
Fucking crazy.
By any player in the league. Listen, there are some people that dislike Brady.
Like me.
They dislike him. They say a lot of trash about him. They love to watch when he fails. But there can be nobody that watches football that can say there is a GOAT not named Tom Brady.
Yeah, no, he is the greatest quarterback of all time.
For sure.
But that doesn't mean that I like it.
Hey, you don't have to.
He is.
And that's the point I'm making. People who don't like him have to respect him at this point. So we'll go around the table. I think you guys know my answer. Mike Evans runs up to you, hands you that game ball, number 600, and then the staffers come over from the Bucs. First of all, we know what he settled on. We'll say it after this conversation, but well, I already know your answer. What do you say to him, Nello? The staffer for the Bucs runs up and goes, hey, buddy, I need that ball back. Tom Brady wants it back.
Do I know you? This is my ball now. I'm going home with it. And then maybe tomorrow morning, I'll give you my number. You can call me, and we can talk then. But until then, sayonara, baby. I'm gone. I'm leaving the game because that ball right there, that's history. When will I ever get a piece of history in my hands ever again? I'm going to sleep with it, too, even though it's a Tom Brady touchdown. And then I'll be like, well, I slept with history. What do you want to give me for this?
I gave you the ball back. It's a little bit of semen on there. Just clean it up, baby. Just need a wet rag.
Be like on TED 2. I just need a sample of your semen.
Yeah, that's all I need.
No, but seriously, I think if you even let's just take all whatever I just said aside. You take it home, you get more. That's it.
As far as everyone else is concerned, I'm keeping that ball until I get everything I want from Brady.
Bingo.
But
wow,
I want Brady to have that ball just because if it was me.
What if Brady has seen The Negotiator? What do you do then?
The guy,
Kevin Spacey, Samuel L. Jackson?
Regardless of what happens, I'm damn sure not agreeing to give it back for at least 7 business days.
Okay, but for the record, you would want the golf, right? If I'm the guy and I caught the ball,
gotta have golf with Tom Brady. I want 18 holes that he's paying for at the nicest, most hardest golf course to get on in the state of Florida.
I know, but that's
what is that course, by the way? Is that
I would say
Sawgrass?
No, concession down in Bradenton because it's fully private.
Didn't we play there?
No, we played Lakewood National.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, you're asking for a pro athlete who has no time for himself to dedicate 3 to 4 hours of his life.
Oh, he's got time for himself.
That I would say, you know what? I'll sell you what you can do. You want this ball? Give me the Bitcoin, blah, 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 all your signed stuff. That's great. You got to come on Cigar City Podcast.
Wow.
I'm going to wear my Nick Foles jersey, and you're going to talk to me about how it was like during that Super Bowl.
And you know what?
Even if it's 10 minutes, I'm done.
As much trash as you talk, I still imagine you would have a decent conversation with Brady. And
I would love it.
You would not be a dick.
No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
Starstruck and stroking it.
No, I wouldn't stroke. I wouldn't stroke because I'd give some shit, but I wouldn't be an asshole. I wouldn't be an asshole.
Once you look up at him and go, "Oh shit, you're actually tall."
No, because I'd want to see
big.
Like, from his perspective how that experience was of losing to the Eagles. Because I know how it was for me. And I don't think I've ever been so happy in my life. Maybe when I got married.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't get that ball because I'd hate to have to apologize profusely on behalf of one of the members of the Cigar City Sports Podcast.
Oh, my gosh. Give me a break. I wouldn't be that bad. But he would tell me how it was like to lose the Big Dick Nick. And I would say Big Dick Nick, too.
I'd love to hear in the Facebook group who actually believes Nello wouldn't be that bad.
I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
When y'all get to this point.
I really wouldn't. There are certain lines you don't cross. I've probably had people at the restaurant who are sports that I don't like the team, but I'm not addicted to them. Ish.
You just got to say your shit about the Eagles, don't you?
That's it.
Oh, God. So that was a hell of a game. I got to say, I'm giving the ball back for the same price. I'll take all that. I'll take the signed Brady jersey for me and the guy who brought me. I'll take the signed helmet, the cleats from Evans. He got the rest of this year's season tickets and season tickets for next year. And he got $1,000 from the pro shop, which will get him like a koozie.
Bitcoin.
He got that Bitcoin.
He got one Bitcoin, which was worth $62,000
from Tom
right
Brady's
now.
personal stash. That could be worth more.
Who knows what it's going to be worth later?
Yeah. Well, that's wild. I think the guy did the right thing. Apparently, he's a doctor.
He did the right thing for sure.
Yeah.
And I would do the right thing.
We'd
That's
give
what
the
I was
ball
saying,
back, but 10 minutes of
I
him
would
telling
hold
me
out, and it would be all the stuff he got. And when I got those things, I want a picture with Tom with the signed jersey and Giselle, and my I'm in between the two. And
wait, is Giselle on the table? I didn't know we could take
my
a picture
arm
with
is
Giselle.
my arm is around Giselle, and then picture with Mike Evans
now
getting
never
the signed
on
cleats.
The board.
And then I would hold out for that round of golf, and it's the Tampa bye week. That's when he has time. We would do on like a random Wednesday.
I'd even give him the off season.
You know what? I'll even let him talk about when he beat us in the Super Bowl with McNabb throwing up. I'll even listen to that as long as he gives me my 10 minutes
Good
of
Lord.
talking about.
So we've got New Orleans this week, and I think Jameis is in the same situation.
I don't want to be him.
You know who else I don't want to be is Geno Smith. That was a rough game too. I thought he was going to do much better than he did. And, Geno Smith, one of those guys. I don't think he's...
But that defense is really good. The Saints defense is good.
Yeah, they're really good. I say that every week.
So, the fact that Geno Smith was ineffective against that team is not surprising.
I picked the Saints to win, but I don't know. It was a rough week. Rough week for everybody except the Cleveland Browns. Boy, Case Keenum coming out there slinging the ball.
Ryan had the Browns.
Actually, I'll take that back. You look at any game on this slate of weeks, week 7, in the pros, the biggest surprise, Giants beating the Panthers.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How about the Titans destroying the Chiefs?
Not as crazy.
No, the Panthers were on pace to be a great team this year. They were showing, and the Giants, the injury-riddled, already not that great Giants.
The no Saquon Barkley Giants.
The Giants' defense isn't bad.
No,
it's not bad. It's not bad.
Danny Dimes played, but you don't you remember when we were talking about the Panthers here a couple weeks ago, saying, "Man, their defense is flying around. They're really good.
No,
they should have handled the Giants." But
let's give Stephon Gilmore a chance.
Did they bench Darnold?
They did
in that game.
They did.
Yes,
and they put in PJ Walker, who I was watching a lot of preseason football because I was having withdrawals and watched a lot of PJ Walker football. That guy
is not bad.
Is not a slouch to put in there a quarterback. He's very talented.
I think he started last year Thursday Night Football for Teddy Bridgewater when he was injured, and he had a good game.
All I know is that team, if they rally around him, that could be a good switch. That could be a good pickup.
Darnold's the starter for this year, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because they got their name in the Deshaun Watson hat now, too, apparently.
Yeah. All right, so let's go through our picks for the week and see how we did here. Shall we?
So the Denver Broncos, Cleveland Browns. Yep. The Browns won, and they screwed me here and in my suicide league.
I talked about the Browns all week, and I said I'm tired of picking the Browns. I'm going with Denver, and the Browns were like, oh, okay. You're not going to pick us? Well, we're going to win.
You can't be down 10 points in the fourth quarter and take a 9-minute drive to score 7.
It's just the Broncos, though, man.
Vic Fangio, man.
They've been lackluster.
Coaching. That coaching style is from 1942.
All right, Panthers, Giants. We all were on the Panthers.
Ryan
Even
took the Giants.
If it was a close game, it's still crazy. But look at how bad that was.
Ryan took the Giants.
I really think some of these picks are just like, oh, they're doing this way, I'm going to go that way. There's no way he thought that the Giants are really going.
Well,
to
he's been right so much when we've all been wrong that I'm not going to say he doesn't just see stuff we don't see. I'd say I can't say anything.
Chief, I was the only dummy that took the Chiefs. Jets, Pats. It was a wrap.
Yeah. Then we got Green Bay,
Washington. I want to talk about something. Pack won. We all had to pack. But Did you guys see Heineke at the goal line?
No. When he got hit at the goal line?
No, not when he fumbled it. When they said he gave himself up and he had crossed the line. And you don't give him a touchdown by like half an inch. I don't know. It had something to do with how he slid or how he put the ball out and then brought it in. So the ball went from inside the goal line to outside. And
that doesn't make sense because if the ball breaks the goal line, it's a score. So that can't be it.
But it's because he gave himself up a certain way.
That sounds stupid.
Yeah,
no, I didn't see.
I'm not saying Washington would have won, but it could have changed the momentum of the game.
Made it more of a game.
Yeah.
Then we got Atlanta versus Miami.
We all took the Falcons there. That was a really good game. Tua didn't do bad. That wasn't on Tua.
No. Not really an exciting game necessarily. Here is another one.
I'm sorry. Who?
Did you take the Bengals?
I did.
Good for you.
I did. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. My biggest regret in fantasy was actually believing that stupid article about him not being able to find the ball.
Who picked up Chase in our league?
I don't know. But whoever did, kudos.
You're welcome.
I'm not going to lie. The next 5 games, I could really see the Bengals going 4-1.
Going on a run?
Yeah. Absolutely. That defense is really good.
At worst, 3-2.
Really good.
Probably 4-1.
That's what I thought was not going to show up was that Bengals defense, but damn, they did.
That linebacker they have just finds everything.
Yeah.
They are 5-2, man. I'm telling you.
Has so many weapons.
This one that was more of a game than people thought. How about the AFC North is the best division right now to watch?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, every single one of them is still in it at the end of the day. So that's going to be a very interesting division.
I like the West too. I like the West for both of those divisions.
So, Detroit and LA. That was a closer game than people thought.
I don't think so. I guess because of the final, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that was surprising just because the Rams should be pretty high octane on offense, put up more points. But let's not forget the Lions have barely lost.
Yeah,
every game.
I love that meme of Camilo.
They're so close.
He posted about, well, I'm so happy I could let the Rams could be blamed for having the Rams win one, and I was like, that is amazing.
That's awesome. Eagles, Raiders. I got this one wrong.
Yeah, me too.
I went with Philly thinking they could get something done, and the Raiders are proving to have come together quite well.
It doesn't matter with Gruden there or not, and I thought that maybe with all this crap going around them, they would drop one.
Same.
But again, can't run the same offensive play over and over again and expect something to change.
No kidding. So we were all on the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
For sure. All of us were on Tampa Bay.
But did you watch Kyler Murray during Houston? Like, Houston's defensive line wasn't that bad. Like, they were getting pressure. And what he was able to do, that kid is, that nickname video game, 100%.
Yeah.
He looks like he's playing Madden in the real.
I mean, he took the Michael Vick playbook, man. Yeah, he's doing a great job. We all picked the Bucks, but then we've got Indy versus the 49ers.
And me and you took the Colts, and Ryan took the Niners. And Carson Wentz Pittman Jr. combo is warming up.
Really deadly, I think. I've had the fact that I have Cooper Kupp, Mike Evans, and Jamar Chase is why he has not had to see the field, but he has been lighting it up.
You have Pittman Jr. on your bench?
Yes, I do.
Oh, we need to talk. We need to talk. Hablamos más tarde.
Okay. Muy bueno.
And then we talked about Saints Seahawks. That was a really bad. I didn't enjoy the game. I thought it was a bad game personally overall.
Yeah.
Wasn't very there was nothing really.
Well, I mean, you got a Geno Smith led Seahawks, so you don't have Russell Wilson. I think if Russell Wilson's there, it's a totally different game.
But even Peyton's offense, I don't know. I thought Sean Payton was like some guru who could.
He is, but that's like when you buy a really expensive car and put really cheap gas in it. That's Jameis Winston. He is taking that high-octane offense and trying to be a gunslinger and not be. He and Drew Brees could not be more different. They just really couldn't. So I just don't get it. I don't understand why people are confused as to why they suck. It's Jameis. We've learned this lesson by this point.
Yeah.
I want to just bring up one more point before we go into predictions. What's going on in Kansas City? What's going on? What's going on with Patty Mahomes?
That conversation about
I was talking to somebody, I don't remember who, and they told me that he has never gotten over the Super Bowl and how bad they lost.
After the Super Bowl, there were ex-players, experts, in air quotes, that were saying that the Bucs just exposed the Chiefs. This was after the the night of, after the game, the next day, the next week. And honestly, I didn't put much weight into it. I'm like, it's the Super Bowl. Yeah, they had a hurt offensive line, a couple of guys. That doesn't matter, though. But they really, the Bucs defense did expose that offense.
Yeah.
In more ways than just blitzing the QB. Now we sit here and look, and all of those people that said that are right.
Yeah.
So you think it's coaching, it's not Mahomes?
I think it's
not coaching scheme.
I think it's they're not adjusting well to being coached against, I guess, if that makes sense.
It's a scheme problem.
Been, like these guys said after the Super Bowl, they've been exposed. They've been figured out. After that first loss, it's Mahomes' first loss in September and first INT in September.
Right.
Then the next week he got the second INT and second loss. Now look at him.
I think it's him trying to live up to his contract and do a lot of things and try to do more than he really can. I mean, he's not Superman. There's not a quarterback in the league that can play effectively with the amount of pressure that's getting put on him. And I mean pressure from the defensive line, not from his family being on social media every single game, making him look like an absolute clown.
Especially his mom, when that tipped ball got intercepted, and her saying that they shouldn't give an interception to the quarterback. They should make that a fumble.
No,
but Mom, stay out of it. Yeah. Your boy's not perfect. Don't be that.
The brother dancing on the Sean Taylor Memorial's jersey or whatever
Just
in
ridiculous.
Washington and putting it on TikTok or whatever.
But I think the lack of protection for him has really, really hurt. And that's the problem that I said with these huge contracts. You pay him $110 million for 10 years or something ridiculous. Pressure. And not only that, who are you going to bring in after that? You've spent the bank on Mahomes.
It's $500 million.
Exactly.
So
even though it's spread out over so long, it's still a ton of money, and it's hard to fit 52 other guys under that cap when you have to pay Mahomes. That's just crazy. And so now, guys like Kelsey are sticking around, and the Honey Badger are sticking around because, they love Kansas City. They want to be there. I don't know what you want to call it. But they're not going to be able to get paid that superstar money, or if they have, you're spending 90% of your salary cap on 2 or 3 guys.
There's something in that film that we just aren't good enough and don't know enough to see that these other teams are seeing.
Yeah.
And they are taking advantage. It's been enough games to say that now, I think.
When you're winning, everything is awesome.
Yeah.
Everything is great. You go to a bar, you go to a restaurant. Dude, you're the man. You're the best. Once you start losing, and that idea of losing starts creeping in, and I'll just take into effect that Travis Kelce, where he was complaining of a non-existent pass interference at the end on a 4th down conversion.
Sure.
Bro, you're not going to get that call ever because it wasn't there. So calm down, get back to basics, and start playing football. You know what I mean? You're not the unbeatable Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to be the biggest test for this team to stay together.
Yeah.
Because they're not playing good. So can they pull up their bootstraps from the bottom and be like, we're the fucking Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, so let's take our last break for the day. Then we're going to do our picks for next week for the pros. Sound good? And we'll be right back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. NFL. It is going to be a very interesting week. I'm going to have to get Ryan's picks after this. And he also had a lot to say about the ball, so be ready for that.
He did have a lot to say about the ball. I'm curious to what he wants to say.
600th touchdown. We're going to hear what Ryan has to say. But let's jump right into it. Is it save the best for first?
I know, right?
Good Lord. Green Bay going to Arizona.
This COVID outbreak in Green Bay makes this game so much more harder to pick than it really should be.
More harder is a double negative. You could just say harder.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Harder.
Or most hard.
I was thinking difficult, but I couldn't get the word.
Too many ruffles. All right, so what do you guys got going on? It sounds like you're going Green Bay.
I wanted to go Green Bay, but without Devontae and Lazard, I got to go Cards.
Yeah.
I got to.
That's how I feel, too.
Yeah, I took the Cards.
I took the Cardinals because they have not shown me any reason to not pick them.
You know, with Devontae, I'll take the Packers.
Yeah.
It'll still be close and a great game, but there's just something out there when, like, all three of those guys are on fire, like Aaron Jones and Devontae and Rodgers, and then they get help from the backup running back Dillard, and then Tanyan, and then Lazard comes in for a few big picks. I mean, big catches, but without the weapons, what are you going to do?
Yeah. How about Joe Flacco and the New York Jets?
Oh, wow.
Taking on the Cincinnati Bengals.
It still doesn't mean how he shouldn't get fired, though. But that's a different story.
I think since he's going 4-1 over the next stretch of 5 games, and this is one of the 4.
Yeah, this is an easy game for them.
It's pretty easy. Depends if the Bengals are a real team this year and they don't lay down to their opponents, then I think they should win easy. I just hope they don't play down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean that offense is firing. Mixon, Boyd, Higgins, and Jamar with Uzuma now. Wow.
Yeah.
That offense is loaded.
Yeah. Then we got another tough game. Tennessee going into Indianapolis.
I picked the Titans pretty easily.
Yeah. I got the Titans. King Henry's throwing the ball now for scoring touchdowns. Like, what? How do you stop it?
Against my better judgment, I am taking the Indianapolis Colts.
I don't believe in the hype.
It's not that. Yeah, sure. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Who was their running back? Kansas City Chiefs.
Well,
Williams?
Edwards-Helaire was injured.
Out and injured.
Yeah,
who's their running back?
Williams, Darrell Williams, Damian Williams, one of the Williams.
Damian Williams is their running back.
I think the Colts at home are very familiar with Tennessee. You got Carson Wentz and Pittman Jr., like you said, running off. Jonathan Taylor's doing well. They've got arguably the best linebacker in the game on defense. This is not to me a straight up pick. I think it's an upset pick for sure, but I just think Indy at home can get the job done.
If Tennessee defense shows up like it did against Kansas City, this is one-sided real fast.
And that's the only reason I'm picking that way is because Taylor has been outstanding. And if they can establish a run game and run the clock and manage time, and maybe T.Y. Hilton comes back, who knows? But I think the Colts have a good shot. How about Pitt and the who are you taking? You both took
Titans.
I took Titans.
Yeah,
both of them.
We know who Ryan's going to take.
Yeah.
He's going to tighten up. Then we got the Rams versus the Texans.
I mean, come on.
Could Bama beat the Texans?
It's Rams.
No, they could not.
What?
No, they couldn't.
There is not a single college team, even if it's the best college team you've ever thought of, like the 2002 Miami or whatever, those really, really good, the 2000s Miami. None of those teams would ever beat a single pro team.
Could the best Bama team ever beat the Houston Texans?
No. The best Bama team ever could not beat the winless Buccaneers if for the one just for the comparables. Pro is just that much better. One or two guys from every squad typically make it to the pros. The pros are all pros.
Of those guys. Yeah.
So, no, there is not a college team that's going to walk into a pro stadium and come out with a victory. It's just not happening. You would need a lot of generational talents all over the field.
I just want to bring something up randomly because it just came to me out on this game. So you're the Rams, and you're going to Texans, and they're winless.
Yeah.
Would it be beneficial to rest Stafford, the running back? I don't know, pick a player. I'm not saying you have to rest all of them, but if they're going to extend your season and only give you one bye week, couldn't you take a self-inflicted bye?
No. I think they serve themselves better getting the W and moving that record up so that they can afford to take breaks down the road when they can afford to lose games. You win games while you can get them in the NFL. You don't rest halfway through the season. No. The Rams are going to roll over them and try to go into the bye week with 14 or 15 wins and then say, yeah, you can beat the hell out of our backups.
I don't know.
Because if you rest them now, then they got the rest of the season. Do you rest them again? Because if you rest them now, then they're going to be banged up going into the playoffs. They'd rather rest them those 2 weeks before those playoff games.
And you don't want to leave anything to chance. You want to have it locked in before you start resting.
So let's say you start Stafford, but maybe Cooper Kupp has a little like lingering ankle injury, and you're like, you know what, bro?
Snap count.
We got you.
That's why snap count's there.
That's a different story, and that's not necessarily resting him. That's knowing who you're playing.
Especially when talking about Cooper Kupp, out routes are injury-free routes, basically. They're not going to be running slants where he can get his head knocked off or anything like that. You can still play him well,
and he's not running. He's not running posts through the middle. He's not trying to cut off linebackers. That's not what he's built for.
How does he make it look so easy to get open as a wide receiver?
Timing,
man. Jeez Louise.
He runs clean routes.
It's timing.
It's the thing about Devontae Smith, man. Yeah. He runs clean, pure routes and knows how to get separation.
And he's one of those guys, Cooper Kupp is, Devontae Smith will get there.
Yeah.
But Cooper Kupp is one of those guys that if you tell him to run that route and you're the quarterback, you know exactly where he's going to be.
Next game, AFC North matchup, Steelers-Browns in Cleveland.
This is always fun because we're in the house of the Austins, which has Megan as a part of it.
Yes. And my youngest son, who has jumped ship to the Steelers.
Oh,
Not okay with that.
He sure has. Yep.
You are such a great father until this.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. This is a dirty mark on your fatherhood.
My goodness.
But that being said, I am taking the Browns.
Wow.
I'll take the Steelers. I think Mike Tomlin's going to be so pissed off that the Browns are going to get the wrath on defense.
Not just that. I think Najee Harris has had a week to rest, and they've got Chase Claypool getting in fights with Minkah Fitzpatrick, all that fun stuff. I want to take the Browns, but I'm going to go with the Steelers because they play to who they're playing, and I think they'll do well.
I mean, is Baker's shoulder good? Are they going to get any of those running backs back? What's up with Jarvis Landry's
Case Keenum versus T.J. Watt.
I'm picking the Browns more because of Roethlisberger, basically.
It's not a bad reason.
Not a bad
but if you
pick,
look on the other side, you got Case Keenum, and I'm taking Ben Roethlisberger.
So give me Roethlisberger versus that defense, and then T.J. Watt, and who's the other guy again? I forgot.
Melvin Ingram.
Yeah.
Those
are two people
really
that are
well.
collapsing you.
Devin Bush is still there. Who's their big Cam Hayward, their big defensive tackle? Mm-hmm. They've got a good defense.
Well, big game for me personally, not for the NFL world. Eagles-Lions. I have a little small friendly wager. Call it gentleman's wager with Cole.
Yeah.
From the Fat Rabbit.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cole from the Fat Rabbit. Is he a Detroit Lions fan?
He's a Detroit Lions fan, and I bust his chops a lot, and I'm sorry for that. It's just banter.
Yeah.
But I really hope that you enjoy that Tony Nels shirt when you wear it after you lose. Give me the Eagles.
Give me the Detroit Lions.
Get out of here, man. No, we can beat the fucking Lions,
Give me the Detroit Lions, who just put up a hell of a game against the Rams.
We can beat the Lions.
Coming home, they are ultra embarrassed, and they are going to see you guys like blood in the water and want to take home a victory. I'm going with the Lions.
I'll take a serving of that as well.
Oh, my God. You guys, I mean, if I lose this bet, I might have to just be like, wow.
Just quit.
I might have to readjust my like whole thought process. There's no way we're losing the fucking Lions. No.
Very well could.
No, we're not.
All right, so let's move on. 49ers going to Chicago.
God, just that thought of losing to the winless Lions just makes me.
I think
Wretch.
it's going to happen, dude.
It is, too.
And I think DeAndre Swift is going to have a bang-up game.
Golf is going to go
We're talking
off,
100-plus yards, 2 touchdowns.
I think the Devontae Smith
their front
show
seven
starts
was
this
able
week.
to pressure Matt Stafford. What do you think Jalen Hurts is going to do?
I think the Devontae Smith show starts this week.
All right.
He's got to have time to throw it.
Don't
Just
forget
saying.
that winless Lions have barely lost all but like one of their games.
They have
Quez Watkins, I
stayed
think we're
in
going to see
a
these
lot.
receivers go through.
And they've
All right.
stayed in close to much better teams than the Eagles. That's all I'm saying.
49ers and the
San
Bears.
Francisco 49ers versus the Chicago Bears.
I'm taking the 49ers all day.
Yeah, they didn't do anything to impress me against Indy, but I also just watched Chicago get manhandled, and a lot of their guys are going into COVID protocol too. Give me the 49ers.
Matt Nagy is the worst coach in the NFL. It should have been fired a long time ago.
I
Give me the
don't.
Niners.
I won't say should have been fired a long time ago, but he is the worst coach in football. Who's going to contend with him? Brian Flores?
No,
I'm not gonna.
That's not Flores' fault.
And I'm not going to put it on the Texans
Steve
yet
Spurrier.
because the Texans are. No, I mean.
Oh,
This
you mean
year.
active?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
not his.
not all
Texans
time.
Not his fault.
No, the Texans, they got a lot to work on. Bill O'Brien left them in a shit state. So
Deshaun didn't exactly help that either.
No.
Yeah, but come on. When you're giving up talent for a second rounder and a beat up tire at running back, that's Bill O'Brien fucked you.
okay.
No,
Oh yeah, he definitely did.
the Andre Hopkins trade is the worst trade in all of NFL.
Oh, for sure. 100%. 100%. Now, Falcons versus the Panthers.
Who's going to start that Niner game?
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G?
Jimmy G's going to start, yeah. Your boy, your savior, Trey Lance, is already dealing with a knee injury and out after only a couple games in.
Do you try and switch Justin Fields out after that piss poor performance in Tampa, or do you say that defense is just on a different level?
I say that defense is on a different level. However, if the 49ers do the same thing, I don't worry about taking him out in terms of, you're not doing well, we're not going to win, because you're not going to win with Dalton either. But I do it in the sake of keep Fields off the field so I can protect him a little while longer, so my prized possession doesn't go down this year for all of next year.
I guess you're right there. The Jimmy G rumors of him being soft were the fire was poked by Martellus Bennett, saying that they lost one of the two games they lost that year was because he wouldn't play or something like that.
Because he said he wouldn't play because he was hurt. He was talking about Jacoby Brissett. Tell me something. What's Martellus Bennett known for?
I don't know, but I'm just saying if Jimmy G doesn't want to play the game, and Bennett was hurt.
Just want to say,
Brissett.
Who is Martell? What's Martellus Bennett known for?
Nothing really besides playing for the Patriots.
Running his mouth. The Bennett boys get in plenty of trouble, and they don't mind spouting off at the mouth. He doesn't know the extent of that injury, and not to mention, shut the fuck up, Martellus Bennett. I don't even like Jimmy G. It's just the Bennett brothers are always talking shit in the news.
That's true.
So I don't want to hear it. I think this was to get some clicks on a web page or something. Get out of here, Bennett.
Panthers Falcons next in Atlanta. This is not an easy game to pick
It is not.
because you don't really know technically who's going to start in Carolina. Although I think it's going to be the Sam Darnold show the rest of the year, unless they can get.
They've
Watson.
already benched Darnold for PJ Walker.
I'm gonna say the
Is
Panthers.
Walker starting though?
Yeah,
He's starting this next game.
yes.
Was
I'm
that official?
saying the Panthers. I think they're gonna have a bounce back. Plus, Atlanta is not a hostile environment.
Nope.
I've got the Falcons.
I've got the Panthers. I think
Matt-
if they start the new quarterback, I think that's the way for them to win for sure. Give me the Panthers.
I think Matty Ice has been looking pretty good, and the receivers are getting into it. Russell Gage, Calvin Ridley, and Pitts. Who the hell's going to stop Pitts on that defense? I don't care how good it is. Give me the Falcons at home.
All right, you have the Falcons at home. They're yours now. Will you shut up about it?
Well, there you go. This next one was an easy Bills. for
Bills.
me.
Yeah, Bills, Miami, Bills.
Chargers, Patriots. Mac
Chargers.
Jones versus Herbert.
Chargers. It's in L.A. If this was in Foxborough, maybe it's a different conversation. But no, I don't think Damian Harris and and Mac Jones, as much as I love both of them, are going to be able to overcome the Chargers defense.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers too, but it will be close.
Chargers offense will definitely put up points.
Yeah.
The Patriots aren't known for that. They had a big week last week, but look at the rest of the year, not putting up a bunch of touchdowns.
Yeah, the Chargers offense is going to want to find itself after that piss poor performance before the bye.
Okay.
Jags at the Seahawks.
Who you got?
Give me Trevor Lawrence.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. Slash
a week to watch, a week to see Geno Smith's tendencies. Wilson's not coming back. Chris Carson's not coming back. They have a Robinson kid who's lights out at running back. Swiss Army knife, catches the ball, runs the ball. It doesn't matter what you need him to do. And Trevor Lawrence looks good.
Is Miles Jack back for them?
I don't know.
I took the Jaguars too.
I think
that's why I was surprised. It's not so much that the Jaguars are going to do great. It's that Seattle's really struggling at home. And if this is not a late night game, they have a shot. I'll take the Jaguars.
I have Seattle. I think they got enough talent, even with Geno, to get the job done. The Jags have just been terrible this year.
They have not been great, that's for sure. But they have shown improvement every week.
This does back Wilson's argument about I am the reason why we're this good. Because
he's absolutely right. He's shown that.
For sure.
It's going to be hard to see how good he is without DK Metcalf if he does move on, but we'll see.
Washington football team at the Denver Broncos.
I'm taking that front seven.
I'll take Washington football team.
Same.
The Broncos 1942 coaching style. 9 minutes when you're down 10 points.
There's going to be I bet there's a lot of sacks in this game.
I don't disagree. And who can respond better than that? Heineke, who's been dealing with it.
And Jerry Jeudy's coming back.
And Bridge. Ooh.
Yeah, but still, man, that front seven of Washington's going to be in the backfield.
Yeah.
I think
the
Broncos D's pretty stout.
Not to mention last week Bridgewater was visibly injured walking around the field. So we'll see if he still is that. Washington might be licking their chops.
This is a game you guys are going to like to talk about. Bucs Saints in New Orleans.
This is a trap game for the Buccaneers.
This
is easily a trap game. If you are a Buccaneers fan, you've watched a lot of Bucs games, you know Sean Payton has our number. And they are going to be coming in, making this the biggest game of the year, wanting to embarrass the Buccaneers, who have been on a really hot streak. But the good side to that is Tom Brady has not had 2 years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And typically in rubber matches, the GOAT comes out pretty well. I still think this is a trap game. Our defense will need to literally play lights out all game. Not because Jameis is necessarily a threat, but you don't want to play the Saints from behind because their defense is very stout. But that being said, Winfield's back. I'm sure AB's back. I think Gronk might be coming back this week too. Take the Bucs, man. I take the Bucs. I think we sweep them this year.
Just want to say that my daughter went pee-pee in the potty on her own for the first time.
Hey,
big win.
All right.
And on that note,
let's give it to her.
Let's go, Ruthie. I am taking the Bucs. The only concern that I would have is if somehow the Saints secondary was able to stand up and Alvin Kamara actually is able to run the ball. That's a tall order.
That kid from Chicago did get 100 yards.
That Bucs rush D, though, come on, man. Yeah. I mean, divisional rival, come on.
And you're right. The kid did get 100 yards, but two of those were 20-plus yard runs.
I don't think this is
he played well. If they run well and control the clock and their secondary does a decent enough job, it could be a close game. A very close game that could go either way.
If the injury report is favorable toward the Buccaneers, it's not a conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
If
is
we
Taysom
get a couple
Hill coming back?
He's not the guy I'm worried about.
I am, because I think that the Saints might run a little better than with Jameis right now, with all the crap that's going on the sidelines. And you were talking about it earlier.
You think Taysom would come in and usurp Jameis right off the bat?
I'm not saying usurp, but what has Jameis really done to show you anything? If anything, even the trick plays with him coming in and out keep them off balance.
All he's done is more than Taysom Hill, which is why he's a starter.
I'm not saying he's a starter, but just like use him as a change of pace. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm still taking my Bucs.
No,
I think we are way too hot right now. And if this continues like it did last year, look out.
Yeah, I still for sure have the Bucks. It's just, will it be a blowout or will it be a tight game?
Yeah, it'll be
that's where I'm coming from.
Bucks
with
win
that.
big.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowgirls versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Hey, who's number 1 in their division?
I don't know. I can't.
That means I don't want to admit it.
Hey, have they beaten the Eagles?
Well, I mean, that's like picking on your sister. Like, who does
Have
that?
they beaten the Eagles?
It's Dallas all day, baby.
It's about time you start putting Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna make you put Cowmen on this goddamn
You need to
sheet.
respect that star.
See, I'm trying to like convince myself by saying like Cowgirls, so that when I get into that outfit and do the Cowgirls cheerleader thing, I'm ready mentally. You gotta let the artiste do his thing.
Give them a D.
I'm not doing that.
I am definitely going with the Cowboys. They are crazy hot right now. The only issue there, and there is an issue, is if Dak is 100%. If Dak is not feeling well coming into this game, it could be a lot closer than we think. Do I think that automatically gives Minnesota a victory? No. Do I think Minnesota's going to get rolled over? Absolutely not. They're a good team. However, if Dak Prescott is in there, there's not a lot of teams that I'm going to go out and say, yeah, they'll handle the Cowboys. Give me the boys.
This is actually, I think, a bigger test for the Dallas Cowboys defense, with their secondary and their front seven is going to get challenged with both Cook and Jefferson and Thielen and this Osborne kid who's now been picking it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is more of a test of that defense. I think the Cowboys win too, but it's going to be really close.
But Minnesota makes it a game, for sure. They're a great team. This is a really, really good matchup.
It's a really good team.
How about this? A couple weeks ago, this would be a really super easy pick. But now...
what Giants team are you going to get?
Yeah, exactly.
Which one is going to show up?
Who's going to be there? What Kansas
Are
City
you going to
Chiefs
get
are
a
gonna show
Chiefs
up?
team at all?
Yeah.
You know, at what point are we going to see them? I went the Chiefs just because I can't ever pick the Giants. They're just too bad. I will pick the Lions.
I gave
not the Giants.
The Chiefs right now
Yeah, the
because
Lions. Give me a break.
they're back at home. They're tired of hearing about how they fell off, and they're playing a team they're supposed to dominate. Yeah, give me the Chiefs.
I took the Chiefs too, but that Giants defense is still good.
I know you don't want to take them. I know. You see something in the Giants that none of us see.
Yeah, well, clearly Ryan saw it. I can't wait to hear who he's going to
That defense is really good. Bradbury is really good. That's a good corner.
Huh.
Really good.
Well, I don't know, boys. What do you think? I think game of the week next week, college and pro. Who's your game of the week for college next week?
Man, it's got to be Georgia, Florida for me.
There's really no other option.
I think
Ohio there's some
State,
good
Penn
ones.
State.
The Michigan State game's a pretty big one, but it's Florida, Georgia.
In terms of what can be won and lost, it's Georgia, Florida.
Yeah.
Michigan State's nothing to slouch out either.
As for the NFL,
Yeah, how about pro game of the week?
Packers, Cardinals, man.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Packers, Cardinals. I'm going to go with Tennessee and the Colts. I think that's going to be a good game. It's going to be early, may not be quite as exciting. I think that's game of the
That Sunday night game is going to be the game to watch.
week. Which one is that?
Cowboys Vikings is going to be the game to watch.
I'll respectfully agree to disagree to that. That's a good pick.
Yeah, they're all good picks. All right, y'all. That's going to do it for us. We will check you next week on the Cigar City Sports Podcast. If you are still here, remember, share, like, subscribe, join the group. Do all the things that the people ask you to do. If you enjoy our content, we would sincerely appreciate it. Also, let all your friends know you can find it on Apple, Google Play, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you find it. It'll probably be on the PA at Tony Anello's. You can ask anybody. It'll be there.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. God dang it, Jalen. Get it together. I do not want to wear that shirt this week.
Rotate.